Yeah, thank you for tuning in to Story Time with Big Pete. Tonight I got my first offering that just happened, and it's going to be read to you by the British Alexa. So sit back, fire pajama, whatever, crack them brews, and prepare to be entertained.
Dark grayish blue. This story takes place at the Fulton County Sheriff's Department, nicknamed Jurassic Park. I found myself there messing around with Sammy Sam the Hitman and the Jugman Wan G. See, I had a spot in Mechanicsville. Long story short, I started trapping out the motherfucker. I was moving that weed and had been doing so successfully for 13 years. I had it from dimes up to the whole bags. You could get whatever you needed. You see, I didn't even need Wan G's help. The time I was doing okay by myself, but, you know me, I tried to help a friend in need. You see, Wan G was in need of a place to stay and hustle. We could stack up together and split the loot. I had a 2-bedroom apartment and only me and my 2 girls. I was doing okay. During the daytime, one of my girls would move the weed, and the other one was selling pussy. It was perfect, so I really didn't need the extra room for anything but storage. Wan G moved in and things eventually started going downhill from there.
Downhill.
He used to come up short all the time.
Damn.
Then I looked at my weed bags and they were losing weight. You already know I had the fattest sacks around. So I was like, Wan G, come on man. You smoking my shit and you coming up short. I'm going to shut this shit down. You done made the spot hot and you know they're eventually coming. And we're not even going to have bail money. You see, when you're running a trap house you only have 90 days before the police figure out what you're doing. 90 days of pumping, so once your trap house start pumping you only have 3 months. But he assured me that everything was under control. And there was nothing to worry about. I used to drive trucks for a living. But I lost that job because I tested positive for marijuana. But it was cool because at the time fuel was $5 a gallon for diesel. And I was using about $1,200 a week in fuel, and I was only making about $2,000 a week. When you take away fuel, that left only $800 to split with the owner. I said, I can flip burgers for this kind of money instead of working 22 hours a day. So I didn't care about the job. When I left for work, one would have all types of people over to the spot. And it was only supposed to be crackheads, pill poppers and weed heads coming by to feed their fix. But all his friends who were in the game in some sort of way would come through. Some of them wanted for burglaries, robberies, and even homicides. And they all used to kick it at my spot. You see, when you have a spot and it gets hot, everyone starts hanging around there because they know what's coming. And they all want to see you get busted because then they'll have something to talk about. He was supposed to be helping me, moving my weed and slanging that hard. Loki. You see, back in those days the smash and grab had become the way. Every day there was something new on the news. There was this group of guys from my neighborhood who were masters of it. They called themselves 30 Deep. And boy did they get it. You know that nothing good is coming if 30 guys coming to your establishment. You might as well get ready to call your insurance agent. They were grabbing thousands of dollars worth of jeans at a time, making a retailers look sick. The police had such a time chasing them that they had to call in the FBI to try and stop them, because they would smash and grab the gun stores, smash and grab the liquor stores, and steal all the finest clothes. Sort of like Robin Hood, they stole from the rich and sold to the poor for the low. They even hit jewelry stores, and I tell you, these guys were literally off the chain. And guess who they were best friends with? You guessed it. The jug man. He used to keep the guns for them and store some of the stolen loot. But I'm not going to make Wan the bad guy. I knew what we was doing was wrong. Hell, we were just as guilty as them, when you look back on it. Then it happened. We was just chilling at the spot one sunny Friday smoking blunts. when my boy Sammy Sam went outside to get his phone out of the car. And the next thing you know we heard him say, "Big Pete, they're out here." But it was too late. Sam left my door wide open and the police stormed in and put a stop to our good day. Initially they said these are some of the 30 deep boys. They must have searched my apartment 2 hours, and came up with nothing but a quarter-pound of marijuana and 2 guns with no clips. We were just in the parking lot on the ground locked up waiting to go down. They knew we had something to do with it, they just couldn't tie us to it. I was charged for possession of a gun by convicted felon. Because I already had an assault with a deadly weapon charge on me and now this possession with intent to distribute this, it's going to be a second strike for sure. I was in possession of a felony amount of marijuana, that's how I ended up in Rice Street again. And this is my 5th time being locked up, y'all. I've been arrested plenty of times where you just go to pre-trial. But I might be going down the road this time. We were being held in Jurassic Park, but it's nothing like the TV show 60 Days in would have you believe. As soon as we came into intake, there he was, Gucci man, he was just walking around. He recognized Sammy Sam, we sat down, and laughed and joked that we will soon be getting out. But Gucci said, "I have to do 6 months, violation of probation, so we plan to reunite once we got out. And put some hits together, which never happened." I was arrested with the Jug Man, Sammy Sam, his girlfriend Tam, Trap Girl and Titty Boy's aunt and my brother-in-law, too true. The next day they dropped the charges on everyone except me and the Jug Man, because the warrant was for him and I. Let the drag session begin. It was on September 12, 2009, I went through intake and was sent up on the 2nd floor. My cellmate was a dusty old bum, I forget what he was locked up for. But he said when he gets out he was going to hop the trains and head out west. The next day they called his name and he was free. Then they called my name, I was being moved and placed on the 4th floor. This pretty much means you're going to be there for a while. I went for an arraignment hearing the next day where they basically told me I had a $25,000 cash bond. That's when I thought to myself, oh well, you better pack a lunch, you're going to be here for a while. I didn't have no money, and I wasn't going to dare ask anyone to pay that much to get me out. Plus I knew they couldn't hold me forever, a nigger going to get out sooner or later. So I just sat back and relaxed, do the time, don't let the time do you. Back upstairs to my dorm, to the dorm. My cellmate is some dope-head white boy. This motherfucker has a book of symptoms. So you can tell the nurse and get whatever pill you need. He would crush them down and snort them just like cocaine. He would tell me some symptoms to tell the nurse so I could get these pills prescribed for me, and give them to him. So I asked him, what type of sucker duck ass nigger do you think I am, white boy? I don't fuck around with no schemes. After about 2 weeks they called his name and he was gone, finally some peace. I couldn't sleep a week with this snake in my cell. Damn it man, he stole my Bible. So they sent me another cellmate, some young kid. He's down here for some traffic tickets or something. He only got to do 90 days, this pretty ass nigger looked like some type of dyke bitch, but don't worry. Big Pete don't get down like that. He was only my cellmate for a week before they moved him down to the 2nd floor getting ready to leave. Then that's when they sent me a new cellmate. Adam, he was a cool ass white boy, he was tatted up with 2 full sleeves, and up on things. We had a lot in common, we were both drivers, so he told me about all the things that he did that led him to getting arrested and winding up back here. He got locked up after a fight at the amphitheater up in Alpharetta. And believe it or not, his cellmate was the Pike guy who owned Pike Nurseries. I think he was locked up for a DUI or something. Adam said this guy talked all night long on how rich he was and how many things he had. And that he would be leaving in the morning. The next morning came and sure enough he was out. And Adam was getting transferred to Jurassic Park because he was in violation of parole when he punched that guy in the face at the amphitheater. He might be going back down the road. By chance he had to go to court the next day, and so did Jug Man. Jug was talking to the white boy and telling him about his good friend and roommate from the outside, which was me, and how I used to kick it with 2 bitches in the bed at the same time, sometimes 3. And how this guy was the man. Adam realized he was talking about me from a few stories that I had told him. Adam replied, "That's my cellmate Big Pete." Adam was excited when he returned back to the cell. He had met the Jug Man. And now he believes the story is that I was telling him about my bitches. Instantly we became friends. Adam's mom used to send him books all the time. He made sure to share them with me. His mom kept money on his books. So on commissary day he would tell me order whatever I wanted. Adam often talked about going into real estate and flipping houses, knowing that when he gets out of here, he was never coming back. Being locked up for a while, I got to polish up on my reading. I must have read that book Rich Dad Poor Dad like 4 times. I damn near had it memorized. I was going to make it happen with this money shit one way or another. Adam told me when he was young he used to get into all sorts of shit like stolen cars and drugs. He would go to the Bluff, which is an area known for selling heroin in my neighborhood. And one day he got caught up over there in a hot box. If the police catch you in the Bluff, and you just happen to be white, your white privilege won't save you here. You're as out of place as a black spot on a white t-shirt. They are going to stop you to see what the hell you are doing over there. Adam's mom was so pissed at him that she sent him to live with his father in California, where he didn't know anyone. All of his friends were in Georgia. He got known for being the crazy white boy from the South. The first school he went to, he got in some trouble setting off some fireworks, disrupting school and shit. So he got transferred to another school. He met some boys from the block and started hanging out with them. Back then there was a spot in Cali called Mott's Berry Farm. It's sort of like Six Flags and amusement park. Adam and his new friends were hanging at the park one day and had an altercation with some other boys. Little did he know he was getting involved in some gang activities. And when they returned to school after the summer break, Adam found out that he went to the same school as the boys they had the altercation with. He told me that after school one day one of the boys saw him and motioned across his neck like he was going to slit Adam's throat. He was following Adam home after school, and Adam noticed that he was being followed, so he picked up the pace and soon began to run to escape this lunatic. The fool, he had a big knife and he was going to stab Adam up. Adam told me he hit fences and backyards and everything trying to escape this fool. And finally he got away and escaped. His father realized that Adam's presence might cause trouble for him as well. So he sent Adam back to Georgia. Back in Georgia with the old crew, Adam soon found himself in trouble again. Damn white boy can't catch a break, and the judge was not trying to hear it either, so Adam got sent down the road to a work camp. He told me it was cool down there. Everybody had cell phones, radios, and they were even growing their own supply of weed. One of the inmates was like a gourmet chef who used to cook them all kinds of exotic eats. You could turn nothing into something. He said mostly they used to be out cleaning up on the side of the road on work detail. But soon as an opportunity came up where he could be a volunteer fireman at the local fire station near town, he jumped at the chance because he always wanted to be a fireman. Sometimes they used to go out on work detail and some of the inmates would call the girls to come meet them on the side of the road. The guards were so cool they would even let these guys have conjugal visits. There was also local whorehouse near town. Once or twice a month after they finished up on the work detail, the guards might have the bus take a detour by the whorehouse. This was some different shit for real. And it made your jail time go quickly. After Adam got out of jail, he began to pursue his career in the real world, trying to get on at a fire department. But as luck would have it, he found a job, but not as a fireman. It was driving an ambulance for a local ambulance service. which happened to be just around the corner from where I live. He used to tell me about his ambulance runs, saving junkies with Narcan, and basically turning his life around. Finally, there was a job opening at one of the fire stations that Adam applied for, and he got the job. He had just finished going through orientation and was about to become a full-fledged fireman. He and his friends planned a trip to the amphitheater to celebrate him getting his dream job and watch a cool band play some good music, man. We were having a great time. Adam said, "I'm going to the concession stand and grab me a beer." While waiting in line for a beer, another drunk-ass fan had a few words with Adam, thinking that Adam had pushed him, and then this idiot splashes some beer on Adam. Like a live hand grenade, boom, he went off, and Adam hits the guy so hard he was knocked cold. And when he hit the concrete, he broke 2 of his teeth. That's when Adam remembered, damn, I'm on parole, I need to get the fuck out of here. So he broke out fleeing the scene, but was soon apprehended by undercover Alpharetta police and got locked up. I guess sometimes bad things happen to good people. I said to Adam, "Wow, what a story. Someday I might write a book about this, or maybe they can make it into a movie about you." And then out of the blue my name got called. I was transferred to the South Fulton Annex in Union City, federal holding. This was like being transferred to Hollywood. Life was good down there, the food was better. Guards were smuggling weed and cigarettes. Besides the bars, it was almost like being free. Down here, I met this guy named E. He talked to his father all the time, the famous Bailey of Bailey Wheels and Tires. I knew him from back in the day. We used to steal cars and sell the rims to him. He also went out with my best friend's mom. So I knew Bailey when E. would call home to speak with his father. Sometimes he let me speak to him. That validated me as an OG and gained me respect, and also guarantee that I would have no problem. Bailey remembered me because who can forget Big Pete? You see, I had a '64 Impala with hydraulics. Bailey sold me the Vogue tires that I had on it for the low. And then there was my boy Big Country. Country was from 5th Ward. I've been knowing him since he was knee-high. He was funny as hell and he kept me laughing. Always talking about the Legion. That's a nightclub on Old Simpson Road that used to be pumping. But be careful, you might get shot over there. And he loves to eat at this spot near the college call. Mr. Everything. Whatever he bought at Mr. Everything, he made sure it had ranch dressing on it. The boy loves his ranch. He stayed making beats on the table and rapping all the time. He had this one song that was pretty good. He used to always rap it. It was called My 85 Box Chevy. In jail it was a hit. Then after 6 months on vacation, it happened they call my name Big Pete. Pack it up, you out of here. I never run back into Country or Adam after we got out. Hope they're doing well.
I heard Big Country got killed.
I ran into a couple of guys since I got out who was locked up with me, but I've been staying out of the way. I haven't gone back to jail or even had a run-in with the cops since all of that. I guess I would say it's an experience that I don't want to relive. I've been thinking about going back into the pimping, but I haven't found a good hoe yet. Where is she at?
Where's she at?
I still flip a little song something on the side. Y'all know I stay at the money. I'm just staying in my lane, trying not to crash and living out my days in peace, hoping one day to find fortune. The end for now. This is part of a 3-part story series. Some parts true, some parts are made up. 99% of the people's names which are used in the series are actually true, but some names were changed or not mentioned to protect the guilty.
Peace. Thanks for tuning in to Story Time with Big Pete, man. I hope you enjoyed that tale. And we'll get back with you later with the next installment.